You to Church of Uganda Family TV at this opportune moment. This is Ask the CEO, a productive program that runs every Thursday here only on Church of Uganda Family TV. Now, this broadcast comes to you live from Church House, 13th floor in the heart of Kampala. My name is John Jimmy Musimbi, and of course, I just want to let you know that Ask the CEO is a decisive program that is meant to educate, instigate, admonish, and trigger off the youths to become world-class excellent performers. That's what I want you to take note. Now, in this program, we host the top managers and, of course, chief executive officers who enlighten us on what it takes to be at the topmost top. Now, this program is powered by the Young and Flourishing Foundation, of course, which we call Y&F, which is an organization that envisions an equipped and empowered generation of young people leading the transformation of Africa. Now, Y&F mission is to transform Africa through trainings, inspiring and equipping young people to create solutions to their socio-economic emancipation. Y&F also envisions a network of about 50 million world-class leaders and mentors in Africa by 2043. Now, today we are glad to host one of the most influential people in the field of branding. This is none other than Mr. Mutaasa Aggrey, and he's the Chief Executive Officer of Rhema Investments East Africa Limited. He's a former regional manager, Solar Aid International, and also former outreach officer at GVEP International. Now, at this opportune moment, of course, allow me introduce or bring to you Ndugu Aggrey Mutaasa. I do welcome you to Ask the CEO program. Kindly say hello to our viewers.
Hello viewers, hello everyone. Thank you so much for hosting me on such a top-notch show. Thank you so very much for seeing it befitting to make me a part of such a drive to influence the young men in our generation. My name, like you've heard, is Mutaasa Aggrey. I'm the CEO, Rhema Investments East Africa Limited. We do printing and branding, but like I noted, and I always tell people around me, we do printing, but we are doing excellent printing and branding. I want to thank you so much for welcoming me tonight.
Well,
hope you're going to have fun tonight.
Hopefully, and of course, not only fun, but also learning.
Yes.
Yeah. So normally on this show, we want to hear the story of our guests from the first principle. Yeah. Who is Aggrey Mutaasa? Somebody would love to know because, you know, whenever people out there realize that I'm speaking or getting information from an expert who is informed in this field, they pay attention. So we want to understand who is Aggrey, what does he do in depth that gives us a reason to listen to him.
Mr. Aggrey Mutaasa is a businessman, a family man. I want to send, first of all, my regards to my family that allowed me to be here. If they hadn't, I wouldn't be. Send regards to my wife. And also want to thank my team, my project that sent me here, the BNI Champion, Business Network International Champion, to which I belong. It's an association that brings together business people. I want to thank you so much for entrusting me with this time so that I can derive content. I am a business philanthropist, so passionate about doing business and contribute to the welfare of the world. We are based at Nkrumah Road, at a building called Nkrumah NASA Link Plaza. We are at 4th floor, and we take a stride of two places, NF05 and NF04. We thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to give you our experience in the education sector. Mutaasa Aggrey is a man who has come from zero to where I am, and I have a passion to help a youth out there who is struggling, because I've been through it all. I have seen through the programs, one of the missions that you have as the program, the Young and Flourishing Foundation, you seek to influence young men, but through men who have been practical. I have the hands-on. I have been at zero. I know what it means to struggle. I know what it means to go out there, think about something, have an idea, bring it on table, and have people believe in your vision. So tonight, I seek to help the young men out there with a few, because the time is not enough. The content is quite wide, but we want to give you just a debrief of what you can do to bring out your God-given talent through this show. Thank you so very much.
Well, now I would love to understand. You've explained your expertise for somebody to really understand who this guest that Musimbi is bringing to us this evening. But of course, we want to know about your career life experience, and because you talk about being at zero and you are a chief executive officer of a company in the capital Kampala. How did you transition from that, and how easy was it for you? Because that journey on how you transition from a nobody to a somebody tells a lot to the person watching us.
Yeah, as I said earlier, apart from education, I have always had a passion from zero, from way in childhood. We were mentored at home to do business by our parents, and it helped us a lot to pick on ideas on how to be innovative away from school. Yes, we went to school. I have a Bachelor's of Arts with Education, and it's from that I enrolled into the NGO world. From a volunteer, I went in to be a project officer. I performed very well, and I went to a level of regional manager, regional business mentor for a project called Global Village Energy Partnership. I was given the Central and Southwestern Buganda.
Okay.
Thereafter, when I performed very well, another opportunity availed itself in Solar Aid International, where we were also given the mandate to do to promote access to renewable energy, which is a top-notch energy enterprise needed in the third world countries like Uganda. I was given the Eastern region, and I helped lead a team that brought about change in the eastern districts of Uganda in regard to starting businesses in pico-lights and solar, which is an alternative energy and helps preserve our environment. Thereafter, registered a company and came through to do printing and branding. I had a passion to do printing and branding. Why? Printing and branding. Branding is, first of all, food to the eyes. It is the first information that one can interpret by virtue of their eyes before you speak. Branding is something that every person needs in their business. And I realized that a contribution I could make to this is through interpreting the visions of men. You give me your business concept, I drive it right from zero, help you come up, say, with the name, derive your passion, and I help you put out this content that you have in the theory to the practical bit before showcasing it to other people to actually earn a living.
Now, what I need to understand is,
yes, sir.
You see, you talk about passion, how you started out as a volunteer, how, you get into all these positions, up to the level when you deemed it fit to be a CEO,
yeah,
and started up a company. But so many young people out there have dreams, just like you did have
True.
one. but they have failed on how to begin. Because let's not only look at a youth who has papers like you do,
True.
because for you, you came with a Bachelor of Arts with education, which somebody watching us out there might not be having. Maybe he's a dropout due to challenges of life that they faced along their journey of education. But they have a dream of becoming a CEO. They do not have anybody to fund them, anybody to loan them. What advice do you give to such people in those categories of informal and the formal who wish to start up and maybe follow in the footsteps like you've done?
Thank you so very much. One, I want to tell every youth, you have a God-given talent. You have a God-given gift in the inside of you. The first thing you have to do is to find yourself. What passion do you have? What do you want to do? First, starters. The moment you realize who you are, or you found out your passion, because every person, the moment you have realized who you really are, find a belonging. Find an association. If it is politics that you want to go for, go around people that are into politics and learn. Be willing to learn. Subject yourself to people who are doing a good bit of your dream, a good bit of your passion.
Okay.
Number two, be willing to learn from those people. Make them your affiliates. Show me who you move with, I'll show you who you are. I don't think there is anyone who will demand for a payment for being an associate. For example, I have very many people that are looking up to me.
Okay.
I have not told anyone, pay me before you can become my friend or before you can come for advice.
Yeah, sure.
Two, you must be willing, first of all, to do whatever you want to do for, first of all, free. Don't tag first price to what you want to be. Don't be, I always tell people, don't be so quick to determine your price. Let people price you. Throw yourself into the market.
Like the value of what you offer
Exactly.
should speak for you and price.
Thank you so much. It should be priceless. I always tell people that anything you're willing to do for nothing is actually something that can earn you billions. I repeat, anything that you're willing to do for nothing can actually make you a living. I can give you an example. In my journey, starting to in the peripherals of Uganda, where I grew up from, I used to go to a church. We grew up in church as family, and I could cut out placards, yeah, and print them on sheets for free at my home church, and also any persons that dared to request me to do. I used to do them for free because
which
I had
created a good reputation.
exactly.
Yeah.
When I came this way, as I was at Makerere studying, by the grace of God, I was alongside doing other small businesses, for example, with the pocket money that I had.
Wow.
Yes. Number 3 or 4, any person, if any young man out there, if you have a passion to do something, first of all, learn how to be good at it first before you showcase yourself to the market, because that will create a niche for you in the market.
That's really a good,
Yes.
as you've had first develop the expertise to execute a task, then of course you ask for a payment and you will really reap good out of it. We are moving on. With me in studio is Aggrey Mutaasa, who is the CEO of Rhema Investments, located at Nkrumah Road here in the capital, Kampala. Now, I would love you to tell us about more of branding. Of course, by the time we went to the break, we were sharing about issues to do with advising young people on how best they can go about this. But I, for one, I know that you have been in the field of corporate branding for quite some time, just as you explained. I would love to understand, from your perspective, what is business branding and why should entrepreneurs focus on branding and visibility anyway?
Thank you. Business branding is simply putting up your brand in a very organized way that someone else can buy into your vision so that they can be helped also to enhance their vision.
Okay.
Can I repeat myself?
Please do.
Business branding simply means organizing yourself in such a way that you showcase yourself to another person who will buy into your vision to also help himself build his dream or vision.
Okay.
First, for starters, what we have had in the conventional meetings and people telling us, I want to repeat it here. The first bit of branding should be personal branding.
Yeah, because you're representative.
Because you're representative
of the entire brand.
The entire brand.
When
of
I
your
am Church
vision.
of Family TV
Yes,
presenter,
yes.
I walk Family
You
TV.
walk Family TV. Saturate yourself with your vision. You let people see you. For example, people have replaced my name, Aggrey, with Rhema.
Yeah, true.
As they write, they say, Dear Rhema. Or as someone calls an office call, he says, Dear Rhema. It has so much saturated in that anyone, anywhere, speaks about my...
The two are intertwined.
Exactly. At first, I used to fear. I used to fear because, given the fact that I was at the university and I was starting small, I had feared to communicate to people, tell people what I do. And I want to tell every person, if you have a vision, if you have a dream, the first bit of branding should be you. Be saturated with your let people know you. I will talk to you and I cannot take a whole 10 minutes without speaking about my brand. It is very important.
Actually, just as you've said, talking
Yes.
about it,
Yes.
it's actually good to even move. There is one of the gentlemen I know who is a CEO, I think he's of Great Lake Safaris.
Truth.
But he walks
Yes.
Great Lake. He will, oh my God.
Truth.
His branding,
Yes.
what he talks
Yes.
is everything he does.
Personal branding
Exactly.
is very important, such that men will know you for who you really are. Number two, as you showcase your brand, be willing to go all the way to do even something or a service for nothing. I tell people, doing something for nothing is better than doing nothing for nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
here
by
you're
doing
gaining a
something,
skill.
you're gaining a skill, you're getting human resource associations, you're selling yourself to people. I can tell you, in my journey of the NGO world, before I launched out into in the private sector, I started by doing my work voluntarily. I tell men, every person who is saying there are no jobs in Uganda, first start doing something without tagging a price to it. I will tell you as a matter of truth, if you present yourself to me and you're benefiting my brand, for example, Rhema, and you come while you want to work for free, it's a tactic. In the end, I will pay you. Why? I'll be using you to get the money. Before you know it, I will be paying you. And you'll be building yourself a day at a time, getting the skills that I have. Number 2 or 3, I talked about the associations earlier. If you have nothing to do, we are so, in Africa, we have a lot of associations. If you have no association, get to a church. If you have no church, get to a mosque. If you have no mosque, have somewhere you belong to, where you can expound and explain your dream or vision, where people will know you for who you really are.
And help you maybe nurture that.
Exactly. Because everyone will first of all ask you, who are you?
Yeah,
What do you do?
And
whatever, never present yourself to associations and say, I do nothing, or I can do nothing. Everyone wants someone who can build them. Find out your passion and showcase it to associations, to people that are around you. They are your first clients. Number 3, when you are under someone. Some people say we don't have tuition to go back to school. Like I said, when you are under associations, find out people who are doing the same things that you want to do. Those are there.
Yeah, true.
People who are doing the same things that you want to do or you want to be. It is so rare that you'll go to a church here in Kampala or out there and there are no people who are in your field of interest. It is so rare.
Yeah.
Get to those associations, request to work with them so you can learn. Be humble. Be humble. And don't front a price tag like I said earlier. First of all, be willing to work even for free, though it will not be free in the end. But it's a trick to get into the market. I started by volunteering at the NGO.
Most of us actually.
Exactly.
When we hit the media industry.
Yes.
And the skills paid off in the end.
Truth. Number 3 or 4. There are scriptures. This is a family session. I'm free to speak about scripture.
Yeah.
There are scriptures that accompany diligence. Diligence will draw you before masters, before kings, when you're doing something excellently. And most times the lazy people or the people that politicize commitment will always say, ye isao, or they you see. But you have a dream you're chasing. You have a passion in the side of you. So in a bid to personal branding, present yourself to the world, throw yourself out there, and let people know who you really are or what you can really do. Do the time, be on time, do everything you do. If you're a sweeper, sweep very well. In the end, you may begin a cleaning company. Sweep to the extent that your CEO will say, thank you so much. I have someone I employ at office. We employ at Rhema. He started by serving me food, but he was serving me excellently. And when time came, I told him, you know what? Come work with us. Because he was very excellent, and I love excellent things. Those who are around me know me. I love appropriateness. I don't want things that are, shoddy. Yes, exactly. I took him on. Okay. I took him on with just a small fee, and now he's enrolled. Number 3 or 4, cherish human resource.
Okay.
Don't take for granted any persons you meet. Don't over flirt with the people you meet, because they are your radar to the next level. Speak to them in a manner that will endear them to, that will impel them to want to be with you longer, that will invite you back. Don't be a kind of person who, when you get to associations or persons, they'll be like, this gentleman, that guy, the way he talks. You can cut short your words. Present yourself in a likable manner, such that people can buy into your brand. Number 2, if you're a business person or you've started small in any way, I advise and strongly advise any business person, do first things first. Have your detail right. Have your branding. For example, if you say you are, I know I've been there, you may not have money for big time printing and branding to really show yourself out there. I'm speaking to a youth who is struggling out there, and I have a passion for those. Those that have made it, you wait, this is not your time. I'm looking at a person who is looking at getting the next level, asking themselves, how can I fit myself into this market? Have your documents are right. How? Don't have a place that you cannot even put a tag to know that you are in that place. Make the awareness of the neighbors that they will know that you are actually there. If you came at our building, many people don't know my name. They know Rhema Investments. Because we made our presence known. And it started far back. When you are in a place, let people know you are in that place and selling that product. Number 2, when people come in for that product or anything that you're showcasing, make sure you do it excellently. Excellence has no price. Do it right. And don't front money. First of all, look at customer satisfaction. Number 3 or 4, 5 or 6, there are many. In the current market, there are very few walk-in clients. You cannot dodge taxes. You can't have a briefcase company. As a way of branding yourself, the moment you have an address, the moment you have your documents are right, you've registered with URSB, it's not expensive. Those that want, we can help, we can give a hand. We can help you because we struggled. If you want to register your company in the easiest way, you can contact us. We can help you. Register a company. Even when you're working for an enterprise, have what we call a side gig as you build your brand. Now, in so doing also, get what we call register with URA. Don't fear URA. Because now there are few enterprises that will give you good business.
By the way, if you're not registered,
Yes, with entities, yes.
Yeah.
Those things of walking in with your business card and saying, my name is Mutaasa Aggrey, I am the CEO of Rhema Investments, we do printing and branding. The first thing they'll ask you, are you tax legit? Are you registered?
Yeah.
Do you have an address? You see? Make sure you are legit. This is your window to thriving in business. In 2000, I remember early 2000, I was driving along I was driving in Bogolobi, walking shop to shop, office by office, telling them how I do printing and branding. But I was, my office was in the car.
By then.
Yes, by then, was in the car. And because I was coming from the NGO world, I thought through, I said, okay, how best can I showcase myself to the market? I don't want another person to make this same mistake I made. I came through, I started marketing with beautiful business cards, very beautiful car. I bought a very good car. So I was driving around with the little man I had. I was driving around and marketing, throwing around my business cards. I was overwhelmed by the people who were calling because I had presented myself in an excellent way. But now remember, I was the designer, I was the salesperson.
You were everything.
I was the production manager. I was everything. I said, wait a bit. I would go back home so exhausted. I said, wait a bit. I can't continue like this.
Yeah, you would eventually break
Yes.
down.
So I had to, by force, get an address.
Yeah.
Have an address, brand it very well so people will know. Number 3, have staff, have people that you work with that are willing to move with you, with your brand.
That support your vision.
That support your
actually.
vision.
Yeah.
Those that you can fill people into. Because human resource is the best brand movers. Have people that believe in you. Come together. Tell them about your vision. There are very many youths that want to work. And the market is so virgin if you do your things right. We had to get a VAT number because every company was asking me, are you VAT registered? Are you tax legit? You see? Where are you located? You see? Now, when I came back and did these that I was not doing at first, we moved from only 3 clients to more than 100 clients by the grace of God.
Wow, that was a big addition.
In 12 years now. So it is important that in branding, any youth, first of all, like I've mentioned earlier, have associations, get people to know you, have people who are in the same field like you, the ones you want to be in, let them carry you through, be likable, sell yourself, you see,
right.
be disciplined. 3, 5, or 4, or 7, or 10. Acquire those skills. If you have not mastered standing alone, don't start to embarrass yourself in the market. For example, I imagine if Family TV was here saying we have a TV and now we are speaking while hitting the microphones. Know what it takes. Know what it takes for the industry you want to get in. And as you get in out there, understand the basics.
Yeah.
Understand the basics. Have people you talk to that can help you build. We are here. I can help you. I can lead you to people who can help you build your brand slowly by slowly. And
actually, in any industry, regardless of whether it's a printing industry or the media industry, for example, if you want to learn news reporting, find people who understand it, ask them how they made it, how good they are. People have won awards. How did they do it? And once you master that, you're good to go.
Yeah.
We're discussing issues to do with branding, corporate branding, why it is important to entrepreneurs to brand, of course, and have visibility for their businesses. We have also talked about people, young people, especially those struggling to start, both informal sector and the formal sector, to ensure that they utilize the human resource that they meet. How do they talk to them? How do they brand themselves? I was recently, I think, on Monday this very week in a training of business journalists. And while we were being trained, one of us stood up and was talking about how one of the media houses CEO saw him and told him, "Young man, you look smart. I love your branding. Would you love to work with us?" And that's how he got the job. So when we talk about branding here is how do you position yourself? You want to work for Church of Uganda, Family TV. Do you resonate with its values? That somebody can look at you and your integrity and then they say, please come and join and work with us. So that's very important. Now, by the time we went into the break, of course, Mr. Aggrey, Mutaasa, was still telling young people to do whatever it takes to mix and mingle with people who are important to them, who can nourish their talents and nurture them into what they hope to become. But one thing I just want to put to you is, how is this applicable? Because the people you're talking about, let's imagine of a youth in Manafa, in my village in Bugulo West, for example, Buselenge. This is a young man who is in a category of people who have still not gone to school, people who look at a chapati of 500 shillings as a big deal, or surely a spab meal, if I can call it that way. And you're telling this person to keep around a circle of people. That circle is not even there, because I know where I come from. So where do these people, where would you think these people can get the capital from to run these businesses? And of course, there is also an integrity issue. We have heard of so many people who have been ladders to others, and the stories are different. It's devastating. What do you make of that? What do you have to say about that?
It takes me back to my point that I mentioned earlier. Human capital first gives birth to the real capital, money. Between Manaf, I was in charge of the eastern region. There are rich people in Bubulo.
That is true.
Not everyone is poor in Bubulo.
But these are not people who keep in those areas. They are here in the capital, Kampala.
There.
Some of these go once a year for Christmas. So
now, if someone has not found
it's hard to mix
anyone
with
in
them.
Bubulo, find an association in Mbale. Mbale is a great business hub.
That's true.
Find, you can't fail. A passion will drive you even to move for 1,000 kilometers. Find a place where it is burning that will help you actualize your dream or brand. Number two, when you get a hold of people who are making it in life, one other capital you're going to sell, and which we sell even up to now, is trust. The greatest capital after human capital is actually trust.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yes.
Anywhere in the world of work.
Yes.
I should say everywhere.
Truth. Trust is very important, and I have traded on trust and blossomed with my vision. Trust, when you give me your money, for example, I should be able to bring it back to the extent that you can recommend me to another person.
For even bigger sums.
Exactly. You would rather, most people front their needs above the ones that gave them the money, not knowing that actually they gave them the money to also sort their needs with an interest or profit.
Yeah, sure.
So wherever you front other people's needs, by clearing them, you are actually lending them your future.
Yeah.
And the moment you do it right, the recommendations you will get are immense. It will help your product grow or your brand grow in a matter of a small time. It is very important that the persons that you've met, if you dare get a hold of anyone who can say, okay, I'm trusting you with this, say 1 million.
Let me jumpstart you such that you can kickstart and
Exactly.
then you take off.
Exactly. We have a gentleman who gave us 1 million shillings sometime far back in the years as we were starting business. And we were two with my other colleague. And we were honest because this gentleman was employed somewhere. We were so on point on giving him his daily kameza. We target daily kameza, daily facilitation. Because he said, I'm giving you this 1 million, but now you're going to be giving me this sum of money every day, at least 10,000 every day. Okay. We were so diligent to it, and it led us to, now it led me to get a volunteer's job.
Okay.
That led me to get a project officer job because he saw I was a honest man.
Yeah.
And now I performed very well, and now I was promoted to being a project manager. You see?
And that's how you
yes,
shot,
even in the business
through the
world here
ranks.
where we at now, any persons that entrust us, now we're dealing with banks. The bank will always cherish you, will always recommend you for sums of monies the moment you are timely and you're honest with your payments.
If your payment history is actually
Exactly.
good.
If you position yourself, for example, with, I can tell a youth out there who is grappling, for example, with contracts, who is grappling with jobs, and you don't have capital. I will tell you as a matter of truth, with right positioning, we have gotten LPO, what we call LPO, local purchase order financing, up to a tune of 200 million without security. It is here. If you have your documents are right, your banking are right, and you pay on time with recommendations, you will get there without security.
Well, our time is fast spent, but as we wind up in about 3 minutes, I wanted to pick your mind. I know you have also been in the field of mentoring young people.
Yes.
You've not started today here at Church of Uganda Family TV. And of course, that's at Young and Flourishing. We stand on mentorship as Young and Flourishing, and as one of the pillars that we ride on. So what is mentorship according to you?
Mentorship is simply training, orientation, trying to bring you on board of who I am, helping you. For example, a person who wants to host a show, yeah, you can be a very good mentor. You can train them, tell them on what to do. You don't come chewing, ask questions that are on point, have the right English, do your research. You see, that is mentoring, providing a stake for another person who is weaker to become like you.
Okay.
Yes.
You've given relatively a good insight of the entire thing in a very short time,
Yes, sir.
which is a good thing.
Thank you.
But I know, for one, Africa has challenges that are not so unique. If you move to Nigeria, Uganda, Tanzania, name them, the challenges are similar. What advice would you give the African youth across the continent who has lost hope of flourishing in Africa? Because as we speak, of course, this is a TV on DSTV, and we are really, the mileage is big. We are beyond Uganda.
It is very important for anyone, if there is anything that you must ride on, you must not give up hope. Get to places, find someone who makes your hope alive. Don't hide yourself in something that is eating up your hope. It is very important for you. Philippians chapter 4 verses 8 says, for the rest of the brethren, whatsoever thing is true, whatsoever thing is pure, whatsoever thing is worthy of praise, keep your minds on them. Many people want to discuss very many things that discourage them. Many people want to discuss about the government's things that are not working, not knowing that actually the governments which you are criticizing, some people are cherishing and are flourishing there. I want to tell every youth out there, try as much as possible not to be so apolitical.
Okay, now as a mentor at Young and Flourishing, of course, we are optimistic of raising a new fearless crop of purpose-driven generation. But in a few words, as we wind up, because we're already past time, kindly in a few words tell us what's your burning desire for Africa as you sign out.
My burning desire is to see every young man who has been at a zero come through and become somebody and benefit even others. I want to see men who can pick on others. If I see my colleagues at work, I call them colleagues. I don't call them workers. I call anyone who calls me, but say I'm your colleague. I seek to mentor people. I seek to help anyone who is in a dilemma, who sees life as at a crossroad, to see the light at the end of the tunnel with the points I've discussed above.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Mutaasa Aggrey. We are much privileged to have you this evening here to discuss such good insights.
Welcome.
Now, Ask the CEO stops here, but as I say good night to you, I would love to implore you to be responsible as we get into the Christmas season. Of course, it's just 3 days away to Christmas. And as for me, before I sign out, I would want to leave for you Philippians chapter 4, verses 13, which says, I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. And I love the Luganda version so much, which says, Nyinziza byonna mwoyampa amaanyi, and that's Philippians 4:13. Any last remarks as we wind up? Of
course, I want to again thank my business association, which is BNI Champions, for giving me this opportunity to showcase and be here today. Also, I want to thank you, Family TV. Thank you so much. There is something you're doing different. You're starting to be heard. Many people are hearing about Family TV. Continue doing what you're doing with diligence. And there are people who have known about Family TV today because I came. And I'm grateful that you gave me this opportunity. I also want to thank my staff, our staff at Rhema Investments, everyone who has made it easier that we thrive and grow together. And also our esteemed clients, the banks, the NGO world. You know yourselves. I want to thank you so very much for entrusting us with your products, with your brands. All the colleagues at BNI, I want to thank God for you because we are doing it right. God bless you. Well, thank you so much. And of course, we can't go beyond this tonight. My name is John Jimmy Musimbi. Have a good night.